Okay, I think we're live now. Yeah, we are live now. Okay.
We are live.
So this is a bit of a sporadic stream. I didn't expect to be doing this stream, but I've been I was reached out to by Jenny Bailey, formerly known as Jossaman. And Jenny, would you like us to call you Jenny?
Or, yes, Jenny.
Okay,
Even
Jenny.
Though I have Jossaman on there. You know what? Fuck that old name.
Oh. All right. Well, we won't use it then.
Jenny has just.
I meant to change my name. I meant to change my name. My bad.
Oh, I can edit the name. Hold on. I'll change that for you. Anyhow, Jenny reached out to me because she wanted to speak about some of the stuff that happened in the past, back in several years prior to now. Jenny went by Jossaman and was part of a group that I did a few streams with that ended up with quite a lot of vitriol and quite racist language being used towards myself, quite transphobic and sexist language being thrown around quite a lot, and some very unsavory characters being just in our sort of orbit. Anyhow, Jenny has messaged me yesterday to say that she wanted to chat about it, to air the stuff that was going on behind the scenes. And so I thought it would be quite a good opportunity just to chat about what went on, like give you a chance to explain what was going on. So Jenny, I suppose, what is it that you wanted to say really? Firstly, what's the direction that you want to take this?
I basically just want to explain to the people and to you guys especially why I acted the way I did and why I was just going through a lot of heavy emotion. And just lashing out.
Okay.
If I'm honest. On my end. I don't know about the other people who are discussing in that group. You know who they are, poor bastards.
Yes.
They are, like, some of them are just really disgusting. I don't know about S-Man. I don't talk to S-Man. I don't know. I don't know about S-Man. I think last time I talked to you, he was a decent person, but who knows?
Okay. So I suppose it would be interesting to start, Jenny, with our point of interaction, right? Because I've not got a complete picture of all the things that happened, and some of the things you mentioned to me yesterday that we can come on to later. A lot of that's at your end that, I'm happy to discuss with you and Lapis now. But in terms of our interaction, a few years ago, we did a stream that was a little debate, a little discussion, and it ended quite quickly because you invited your friends from another or people you knew from another group or podcast onto the stream. They were quite racist towards me, quite directly racist, actually. I was called the N-word by one of them. This was because they expected you to have gone onto their podcast and not mine. And for the audacious act of me saying, actually, you got to wait, it's only a YouTube stream, they got quite cross and called me the N-word. And then when I said to you, because I rewatched it, actually, it's been a while since I'd actually seen that. So I thought I'll rewatch this when it happened. And I said to you, like, your friend's a little bit racist. You laughed it off, you left. And then you sent me the N-word yourself in Twitter DMs. And so when I saw your name flash up again, you apologized in the DMs, and you might apologize again now, but there was a little bit of concern because I sort of thought, is this you've said in the past that you're sorry, and then you've gone back in it. You said lots of things, you've gone back in it. So what sort of brought out this? Why now? Why is this come about now?
Well, what happened was that I was watching old videos from back in the day, and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch the Owen versus Jossaman one. I watched the original one, which is pretty cool. I think we had a cordial discussion despite my internet issues sometimes. I don't know if it was internet issues, just me being a little crazy. I think personally what happened was that I was supposed to be booked for KeeperCast that day, and then I got overbooked, and then instead of saying no to them like I should have for their shitty podcast, I sent them the link to your Hangout, and I shouldn't have.
So, I remember.
And they got mad. And they got mad that I wouldn't go on their podcast, even though.
Yeah. So we'll talk about KeeperCast in a second, because I think that's one of the things that Lapis and I have been a bit curious about. But I remember at the time, actually, you actually came to me asking for this discussion, and so it was a bit confusing to me that you would go to the trouble of sort of wanting this to go out, like you want to have a chat with me and stuff, but then suddenly your schedules clashed, even though you've come to me with the times and dates and stuff. Like it's a confusing picture. Can you see where the confusion would be?
Yeah, I think it's because, and this is just the honest truth, is that they get me in voice chats a lot, and they also do the show periodically, almost every single day from what I remember. Maybe that's not true, but from what I remember, they would get me on the show random days of the year to like do it, and then I had a scheduling conflict, which was my bad. I shouldn't have set up something with you when I was already set up with something else, which I will admit is kind of a fucked up thing to do, is to not at least have like a calendar to, if you're going to be doing podcasts, But-
Scheduling, it can be
Yeah.
difficult.
especially in your mind, trying to schedule all these things, your YouTube channel, your gaming channel, which I had briefly, and just trying to be creative with your music,
Yes, I remember you were a SoundCloud rapper for a bit.
Or I was a SoundCloud rapper, still am.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you were still making music. But
Yeah, I do YouTube music videos, but yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. And
And
I'm
so-
glad to talk to you, Lapis.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
good to talk to you too. But go ahead, Owen.
And I was just going to say, I've got the video on my screen at the moment. I'm going to share the screen quickly, if that's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right with me.
So I'll share that quickly. So you can see there, like, we've got this video, not very long, and it's smooth. It runs quite smoothly, and then we get to about this point, and here's where KeeperCast join in. And this is why I think I wanted to, and I suppose you'll be able to share this as well. Talk to me about like what this group was and what actually went on there.
Hmm.
KeeperCast was a podcast that originally, because Topher couldn't get Devin to do his thing, that he decided to get a bunch of people to in his mind enlighten them, the mentally not mentally disabled, but people who are picked on online, trying to bring them up. But he kind of lost way with it, and according to him, he has big regrets about KeeperCast. Like, he doesn't like the fact that he even did the show to begin with, because it turned into, from him trying to empower what he calls keepers instead of locals, because to him, these people are good people. They're just a little different than anyone else, and the funniest people are those who are different,
Okay. So go from the
But-
start for me a little bit.
but-
Right?
But with this is uncalled for, and I think what he explained it was to me is that he was doing an impression of a shock jock radio show or a podcast he listens to, where they directly said the N-word to someone as a thing.
I mean-
and that's what inspired the show too, is a shock jock radio show.
Like-
KeeperCast.
I'm sure there was some inspiration for it, but to me that doesn't really change the
Yeah, it
actual
doesn't
nature.
change
Of
it.
The fundamentals of it is that, if you can say you were inspired by someone who is also racist, but that doesn't, absolve
yeah.
you of being racist.
Will you be
Right,
able to hear this if I
right.
play it? I can play the clip, like if it
Yeah,
lets
well,
me.
we've been having a conversation. About
Yeah, I
stuff.
hear it.
I mean, I've organised it for Jossaman for today. You know,
Right, but he was already booked, is what I'm trying to say. And
that's not. It's not like it's a proper thing. Like, he's on here with me. And he'll be on
Oh.
review later, I presume, or whenever.
Yeah.
So for
listen,
now-
you fucking nigger. I don't think you
See,
understand.
Yeah, all right.
That part
goodbye.
is him being straight up racist, and I don't like
Yeah.
that part of his personality. He doesn't even talk to me, dude. He doesn't even care to like talk to me. Like, he has a family now, so like, Not gonna
Okay,
get
so
into
this is
specifics.
this is the other bit because like I'm glad that we're all in agreement.
Sorry about that. Sorry about
No,
that. I didn't mean to.
I'm sure. But what I'm a little bit confused by is the way you speak about this person. You know quite a lot about him. I can't tell whether or not you're still like talking with him. So I want to go back to the start. You said about Topher and you said about Devon. Who are these two people? What go from the start of like how you know these people? Because
Devon,
yeah, Topher, Devon, whoever. In fact, if I go back to this this bit here, so that's obviously Topher. Who is this?
that is Bob Lockus.
And who's Bob?
He is a guy they had on the show who was one of the top keepers who basically was somebody that they really loved who died. And they were, you know.
So
How did he die?
Because
He had heart issues and then his heart gave out at 60.
I see.
yeah, that's sad. Because in this little panel here, that I believe is Bob. Because I think he doesn't actually say anything in this video, but he's visible on the screen like for a split second. Like, the way Google Hangouts used to do it, or I say that the way I used to do my Hangouts, whoever was contributing audio would be the person that would be on the screen. So I think I probably can't get it now, but there's like a very brief moment where that person's on screen.
Yeah, I thought.
And so
before.
they were presumably, obviously, they hadn't passed away at this point. Was this someone that you were speaking to? Or like, did you know Bob well?
Not very well, but he was a really nice guy, and I kind of regret not knowing him too much. Like when he passed away, there was this video made by one of the producers who made a video dedicated to him, and I freaking cried in school when I was in school at the time because, man, I've said some hurtful things towards him in the past that I don't even remember saying that much towards him, but Topher like instigated it in a way, but like I still shouldn't have said it. He was trying to get like some thing that he regrets, but
So
I understand. Go ahead. This.
I was going to say I think it's worth bringing up some of the other allegations you brought up about KeeperCast because this kind of feeds into a sort of a pattern of behavior where on the one hand we're hearing that he says that he wants these people to be, people who are
obviously
different
not.
To be,
Obviously
no, but he says that he wants people who are different to be treated well, but then we have here this instance with Bob where apparently you said hurtful things, he said hurtful things. And when we were talking on my stream that one time, I'm not sure if you remember, you had brought up a bunch of things that KeeperCast made you do. And I remember the reason the incident got to such a pitch was not only that you walked back your apology towards Owen that you had made at the time, but you had been egged on by them to call him a racial slur and then to sever your friendships with the rest of the poor bastards at the time.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, like, they were like, see, this is the confusing part is on that stream, like later on, and this relates, is that I would say in a kind of way that I wasn't being exactly clear on, is that a lot of that stream, not your stream, but like this stream, I don't regret going on because it exposes Topher for his bullshit. But like, he, basically everything in it is true that I said, I think. And I said it wasn't because I was having doubts about it when I said that in the chat. I was just like going, like, this can't be true. I'm in denial. Like, it's an abusive relationship, dude. And like, I'm glad he doesn't talk to me anymore. Okay, go ahead.
So, sorry to cut you off. I just, so like Lapis says, there's this sort of split existence really, where we've got all the stuff that we're going to come on to. There's some quite serious things that you've said about these people, but then also that this Bob person's a really nice guy, and that everyone was really sad when he passed away and stuff. So there's like a a confusion to me over like which people are involved and like who's done what, because Bob's very clearly on that call a moment ago. He's one of the people you invited on that presumably wanted you on their stream that time, and you said made you go on there. So let's try and rewind back to the start of your interactions with these people. Who are the people that you met for the first time with KeeperCast or whatever this group's called?
I met Bob. I met Topher. I met Sam. I met I forget who it was. The guy Toby, I believe. And
when was this?
late 2017.
Late 2017.
Like at the end December, I believe. If I'm
and like, was this like an online thing? Was it just like you met them on YouTube or like?
Well, everyone except for Sam, I've met several times before. In real life.
Online?
No, in real life.
In real life?
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this in the DMs, but yeah.
Okay, and obviously don't like dox yourself or anything, but like what are we talking, like at school, at uni, like what
Not at school. We're both around the same age. He's slightly older than me by like a month or two.
So, which
Actually,
one's
a
this,
few
sorry?
months. Sam, I believe.
Sam's okay.
I don't want to give his full name out, of course.
No, of course,
like,
don't give any full,
no.
don't give any full details, but like
he's
so
already
Sam's
known
roughly
as
the same
Sam,
age
but
as
yeah.
you. And you met
Yeah.
them in real life, like in what context? Like just off chance, like you just met them through like music or YouTube or like what? Like
through Topher, and then
so okay, but so Topher you met online, and through Topher you met Sam in real life.
Well, through Sam. Okay, I met Topher originally, and then over the years, and actually, this is the fucked up thing part, is that I knew Topher way longer than this, but he was on a separate podcast. But I wasn't on that podcast, but that's besides the point. Basically, Sam wanted to meet me because he thought, that would be an interesting guy to meet and to be friends with IRL and just hang out because he's from Oklahoma. He's public about that. And well, he's from Oklahoma. He lives in, I'm not even gonna say. But
Yeah, don't say exactly where. Just Oklahoma's fine.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Basically, we met and we started hanging out. My mom wasn't necessarily to like him at first, but they're kind of like off and on to whether or
So
not.
your mum. So your mum,
yeah.
Your mum's. So he's been what? He's been to your house, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever met Topher in real life?
No, as far as I know, no.
As far as you know.
Has he been
Well,
stalking you?
I would say that he hasn't been stalking me. It's just like I don't think he cares about me enough to stalk me. I don't think he even cares about me right now. He's too
Okay.
busy. Yeah.
So the phrasing is very interesting here when you say you don't think he cares about you right now. So we will get into the more serious allegations later, but do you think that he ever cared about you?
Honestly, I don't think he cared about me. Maybe he superficially. Actually, I think he saw me as a way to have a friendship and have that thunder in him again to
thunder.
Yeah. Well, it's a metaphor.
I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, what thunder? What? As in a connection, a friend.
Yeah.
How old were you when you met Topher?
Well, we didn't really talk that much, but I was 14. But he was
Okay.
I think he would be 18 at the time if he's 30 now and I'm 25. But
well, I thought you said 2017 is when you met Topher.
Well, no, I meant in 2017. I started actually getting to know Topher. I knew his podcast, and like we weren't exactly friends, but I did know of him. You know?
Okay. And when was the first time that you can remember he like Topher's actively messaged you or like said something to you? Like,
I
when's the
would
first
say
time?
2017.
Okay.
Okay, so that's when you started to strike up what you saw at the time as a friendship with him.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, you were 18 in 2017.
Yeah, I would say so.
And okay, so you're like mid-20s. We're roughly the same age then, Jenny. And
Yeah.
Topher was how old when you met him? Like mid-20s? Like
No, he's like 30. Honestly, I think he's like 33, so like what would that be?
so
He
he's
was born in
33 now, so
1992, so I
okay,
think
so he's 25 then in 2017. If
Yeah.
that's correct. Okay. So that gives us a bit of a framework, right? So you're speaking to him properly in 2017, and to try and place that, like with so obviously Lapis and I are viewing this from sort of detached mode, right? Because whilst we're obviously in the same space as you, somewhat like we interacted with the same people for a time. We weren't interacting with KeeperCast, and that group was very much like we found out about them largely through you and through interactions with you. So I'm trying to I'm just going through my channel, like our first stream, Jossaman, if I can find it on here.
Yeah, I tried to find that video, but I couldn't. Maybe I need to search for it better.
No, I can pull it up now. Look, present.
Okay.
So if I share that quickly,
Okay.
let's see.
Oh, that
So
stream. Yeah, I've seen that stream.
The 4th of December. So at this time, you were already in, already there, right? You're already with KeeperCast and there presently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
and
would
so
say.
sorry, Lapis, you back, Lapis?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. Okay, and so like Lapis hinted at a second ago, or sort of suggested to, we're now moving forward in time a little bit. So we can establish 2017, you're with us and you're doing stuff like with your streams and stuff with that crowd, like the Poor Bastards and us and all of them. But at the same time, KeeperCast is running along in the background. So what is happening with you and them? What's the nature of your connection to them, your relationship?
I think personally is that I was trying to do 2 different shows at once. But this is my relationship. I thought that I was getting the opportunity to like talk to like someone genuine. And like my relationship with Topher was basically back then, I thought it was funny. I thought what I was doing was like, not that this is true by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought, oh, this is my chance to be on a shock jock radio show, but not because he had a bunch of views on Twitch. I don't know if you guys remember, basically, but he had like 100 viewers on Twitch when that happened, and they basically took him down because of the naked thing he did towards me. I think that's what I.
What naked thing did he do?
The naked thing.
From what I remember, he like, not that on Twitch, but like he would use the recording version to like show me naked when on the original version, because of Twitch TOS it wasn't.
So I've got to, sorry to cut you off, Jenny, but you say from what I remember, and then you say he plays videos of you naked. Like, can you see how it's a little bit like?
Yeah, he does. Like on Twitter, go ahead.
No, I'm saying like it's not something that's like a 50-50. Like it's it's a quite.
It happened or it didn't.
It is.
Yeah,
it did happen. It did happen.
Okay,
it did happen.
So Topher played videos of you on his Twitch of you wearing no clothes.
Honestly, I think so. Yes. I do agree, Owen. It was so. I have a hard time remembering of whether it was censored or not.
Okay, so you were on his. Yeah. How did he manage to get you to appear on his Twitch naked, and why do you think you're having trouble recalling if you were or not?
because he claimed at the time, and I don't know if this is true, that it wasn't being shown. And I thought, oh, it's not being shown. So whatever.
No, Lapis is asking Jenny. Lapis is asking how he'd get the video in the first place, right? Because it's not as
because
though
I'd show
he's got like
because
spies and
he-
secret cameras. Like, yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did multiple voice chats of him coercing me into doing it. I just didn't realize that it was like that. I just thought it was like fucking hell to like remember. But I used to think it was just like a funny thing. Oh, hurrah, I'm naked, you know. But
And so what were you on like wet? Yeah, I'm sorry if this is a nasty thing to have to remember, but like, was this? And at any point, of course, you just say, and we'll move on to the next bit.
Yeah.
But if like the way that Topher has done this, like, were you on video call with him? Like, what, was he recording?
video call, yeah.
Okay, and so did you know you were being recorded when you were dancing around doing this?
Not at first, and then I think I knew later when someone mentioned of me being recorded with it, but I didn't realize it at the time, though.
So when you realized you were being recorded, what did you do?
Honestly, I was just like, while I wasn't being recorded naked at the time, I do remember feeling like disgusted. Like, that's my natural feelings. I'm just gonna say what's coming through my mind, whether or
Yeah,
not.
of course.
Of course.
Like,
Speak your
I
mind.
felt disgusted that, like, and I didn't remember feeling disgusted at the time, but I guess my feelings of it now. Honestly, I feel like he's like doing like, how many more victims is this? That's my thoughts on it currently. How many people are being abused by him?
And what year? Like, what sort of time are we talking? Like, this is like a continuous thing? Was it once? Like what sort
Multiple
of
times, like multiple
times
throughout the years. Yeah.
throughout the years?
Even until last year when he stopped trying to talk to me when I exposed him on YouTube and stuff, and he had to hide for like a year and a half, and then he continued. I don't know if he continued it, but like he most likely did to other people, but like he doesn't talk to me because I'm someone that will get him in trouble for like. He just keeps on the down low now. He doesn't show himself publicly because he has a family and he feels like if he's like called out publicly with his job, he'll lose everything for what he did, but fuck him.
Okay. So let's try and get a timeline of sorts here. When roughly, like what year was the first time that he had, a video of you with no clothes on and then showed it to his Twitch audience?
I'm thinking 2017 for sure.
So the same time that we were all talking.
Mhm.
Because obviously in 2018, that video I played earlier of us on the hangout when he joins, that's 2018. So when we spoke that time, you were already like he already had videos of you.
Yes.
Okay. And then when was the last time, like roughly what year was the last time he was showing these videos?
This year. He was showing
This
me
year.
on
Okay.
Twitter. I had to find out because I was searching for his pages, and I found out he was sharing multiple of them.
So he's so for the past 7 years or so, he's been showing photos of you, videos of you naked. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And
He
you
got me to believe that I
mentioned
shared one, but I didn't. He shared it. And I
Okay.
thought I did because I was on the server, but no. To someone's public server, but no, he shared it and left and made me get banned for it temporarily. And then, I don't know.
Oh,
so
Probably
here's
internet issues.
okay. Here's another issue, or not issue, but something that you had brought up to me. When you had initially been on my stream, you had mentioned other things that KeeperCast had you do, and I remember also hearing about it through the grapevine over the years about other things that he had made you do, such as shaving all of your hair, and other things as well, things that are a little bit more graphic.
Yeah, for sure.
Did those happen? Is that honestly what happened?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What other things did he sort of have you do?
Okay. I think I remember this. It for sure happened. I think he had me with a razor. I hope this is true because fuck him with this situation. He had me with a razor, like go around my edges of my ball sack on like a video, and then it like cut open, but didn't. It of course healed, I believe, but then I think that's some sicked up thing. I think it happened. I have the memory it happened, so obviously it's true.
Like, I mean, again, I really don't mean to come across as insensitive or, like crass or anything, but something that serious can't really be prefaced with "I think it happened" when it's you in person. I don't mean like, and that's not me saying it to be like unkind or disbelieving or anything. That's just like something that's it, like where you're actively doing something like that. It's like it can't. It's a really serious thing. So you've got to be 100% like if you're saying anything that he made you. Okay.
Yes.
And then this is one of many things, because there's other things that we've heard, Lapis and I, that they've said and something like, and a lot of it, like it ranges from things that serious, things that are very graphic, to even just things like where you're pouring, like you're eating food in a really messy way, or you're pouring drinks over your head, or you're just like sort of doing humiliating acts on camera for an audience, right? Like, is that what's the like dynamic? How does it get to the stage where you're on camera doing these things? Like, what's the reasoning? What's the thing that's going?
If I'm being honest, it was money. So I was not being paid to be the circus clown.
So they paid you to do these things?
Yes. They would get people from the audience, supposedly. And I think it happened. No, it did. Where they would pay, the audience would pay for me to spill milk over my head, drink piss, eat cat shit, drink milk, the whole entire milk until, like, I throw up, eat pickle juice,
And
so
go on, Lapis.
I'm curious. So you were made to do all of these things. What were KeeperCast's tools for coercing you? How did he manipulate you into doing these humiliating things?
Because I felt like it was for the people to be entertained. But obviously now looking back at it, it's some sick thing that I justified in myself of doing that just for attention. Like, I think I'm very attention seeking, so I'll be willing to do anything for a sense of fame,
Okay.
Anything, if I'm honest.
So a moment ago you said that you thought money was involved.
It is.
Just then you said you thought you were getting famous and that you wanted the eyes on you and stuff, like the attention, right? So
right.
Did they say to you that you were going to get paid, or was there like a monetary incentive, or was it just that you wanted to be like spotlighted on a channel with lots of viewers?
Both. I was going to be paid based on what the audience donates, but also I was going to be paid, I don't know. Can you repeat the last thing instead of the money thing? Because I kind of forgot.
So the money thing was just like, did KeeperCast say you were going to be paid? Like, did they actively, did Topher tell you, audience donations are going to you if you do these things?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second thing was, was it your, if you thought doing these acts would like make you famous and you'd be like in the spotlight and stuff? Was that you? Did you believe at the time that you were going to be famous through doing these things, like, or have some internet fame?
Yes, because I didn't necessarily realize that until I looked it up that apparently KeeperCast was getting like hundreds of views on Twitch, and I thought at the time this is a good strategy to promote my stuff, but eventually people in a circle would tell me not to post stuff. Like even now when I did the Instagram recently, he would tell me not to have social media because it would connect back to him. He would tell me not to do anything social media wise besides his page.
When was this? When did he say this to you?
December of this year when we first, October when we first started doing the Instagram page called Foster Home.
So, October of last year, so 2023 or 2023?
Yeah, when we, not you, but when Topher and I, no, mostly Topher, decided to like have me on there. I decided to get on it because it had over 80K followers.
And
I was like, I could express myself. I could like be a public guy.
When did you see the 80,000 followers?
On his Instagram page, and it was probably 75 at the original date. But then it grew from there because I actually got hundreds of thousands of views based on what I put in, and he was doing nothing but giving me scripts, and eventually I just say, fuck it, I'm doing whatever I want. He didn't like that, so he like
Okay, but there's so what year was the Instagram account that you saw?
Probably 2022 because he started doing it probably less than that. He did the page in 2021, and he basically had a whole entire page dedicated to 3 people: Devin Sweeney, Uncle Ron, and me later on. And it was basically a comedy trio channel eventually when I joined in 2023, where we would be able to express a comedic exaggeration of our characters.
Okay.
But
so go ahead on.
I'm slightly, again, I really didn't want to be like mean or anything.
Go ahead.
2022, you said that you saw this Instagram page, but you just said to us that in 27, like, the stuff he was saying to you and making you do, at this point, you were like, what was your thought on it? Like, you saw this Instagram page and wanted to be on there, and you say you joined like a comedy trio of like acting out characters and stuff, and like, presumably like doing, filming yourself to get on the audience, right? To be seen by this Instagram audience.
Right. In 2023, I got on the Instagram page. In 2017, I got on the KeeperCast. There was 2 separate entities.
And both were Topher, though, right? Both were...
Yes, they were for sure. Topher. He runs it.
Yeah. And in 2023, like, you knew that Topher had the images of you and was behind like a lot of the things he'd said for you to do and requests of you doing things, right?
Right.
So then there's...
Sorry, it kind of cut out.
So earlier. I said you in 2023, before you joined the Instagram page, you knew that Topher had images of you that he had of you naked and was showing to his audience.
Right. Well, I didn't know. Okay, that's where I got confused. I didn't know he was exactly sharing it because I didn't know that they were being shared besides that one thing I shared with you about the Discord. Because I found out later when I was doing the Instagram page that all my past videos and stuff were being shared on his Twitter under Devin Sweeney, because he did that because Devin Sweeney got a record charge for peeing outside so he thought he could get away with putting that on his page, and eventually Devin had to take over the page because he was doing illegal things on there from what I've remembered and seen.
It's like
so this was Devin. with doing illegal things.
No, Devin didn't do illegal things other than pee outside, and it was illegal for him because he was just peeing so he could pee because he was walking home and couldn't exactly pee, and they arrested him for like sexual, I forget, battery? Not battery.
Well, hold on a second.
Canada?
Right, okay. I feel like it's. Do you know for certain that Devin has like? Because it's a bit of a. I have no idea who Devin Sweeney is.
No, Devin wasn't naked. I was naked on there.
No, I know that. But you just said that he was on camera urinating, and then you've also mentioned something about sexual battery. Like, what is it that Devin's? Is it like he's one of this trio of comedy characters on the Instagram page?
Well, not now. He quickly left. He quickly left after realizing Topher was a bad person, and he said, "Fuck him." But I stayed on because I didn't realize that was going on until I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just put in the effort of making these actual Instagram videos funny instead of just his stupid scripts." But basically, I do these cameos for him, which I was making decent money off of. Not the best amount of money, not even the richest amount of money. Just money so I could buy things, for myself. I felt it was a good deal at the time, but obviously, you sell your soul to the devil and you get sour grapes.
Okay, so
Lapis' internet is. I'll wait for it to come back. It's clearly quite a serious thing. I mean, Devin and Uncle Ro, did you say?
Ron, sorry, I misspelled it in our DMs, which is
Okay,
I'm not gonna say his real name, but yeah.
Okay, and so these two were with you on this Instagram account, but you weren't like. What was the? In fact, I'll wait for Lapis because he's probably just trying to reconnect to him. Here we are. You all right, Lapis?
yes, I'm back now. Just having
Brilliant.
some odd connection issues.
So
But
you're going to say something?
yes, I was. I was going to ask, how much did KeeperCast/Toffer end up paying you for the exploitative videos that he coerced you into making?
$230 for all of it.
For all of it?
And I think I was being underpaid heavily, honestly. That wasn't fair.
I would agree that there's an aspect of underpaying, but then again, a lot of these things were pretty inappropriate sort of content anyway.
Right.
So he would pay you in this. Did he also try to pay you in exposure in terms of promoting your works on his channel?
Right.
Did he?
Yeah, Yes. Yes.
Okay. So those were the two streams that he paid you. And at the time, this desire for fame made you think that you had to do these sorts of things to
Achieve
make
it, yes. To make it, yeah.
Did he
And
ever try to
eventually I
persuade
did.
you? Oh, I'm
Go
glad
ahead.
to hear that. But I guess my next question is, did he manipulate you, would you say, into doing this? Or would you say that it was more of your own idea, more of your own desire to become famous?
I would say that he manipulated me into doing those things, but I should have had the choice to not let it. Honestly, I think he manipulated me into wanting to become famous, but at the same time, I wanted just to have some sense of community, have some sense of whether or not I can actually communicate online. Because remember, the YouTube channel's Jocelyn, my original baby, if you will,
Yes.
was my thing that I did for years, and it didn't pop off at all until I decided to, delete all my videos and then restart and have a fresh viewpoint, because back in the day I would say some fucked up shit that, I was young, I was stupid, I said some, I really meant transphobic things that I did privately apologize to this girl on, and in DMs. Actually, I think it was email. I found her email through her YouTube channel. I think it was that damn tranny, and and I just regretted it, and I figured, hey, YouTube videos are fine and all that, but I actually want to talk to you one on one. I feel like that's fair to, if you're gonna apologize, it shouldn't just be on an online where you could use it for fame. I feel like it should be, if you're genuine with it, you should apologize to them straight to their face, or at least through email, or a way to talk to them. Or even
Well-
publicly to I made a video publicly saying that too, because I felt like to my audience at the time that I don't want them to think that being transphobic is okay.
All right. So I'm glad that you did take the steps to try to take, I guess, accountability for your
Yeah.
past words and behavior. But I guess my question now is, when did these feelings of transphobia kind of give way to realizing your own identity?
Because even back then I had and I watched the stream. I don't know if it's me or not. I don't know. But I had this stream of mine where I was playing this female character for
Mhm.
this, and it's just a combination of things to where I was like, I was so confused about my gender. In fact, at one point in 2022, I believe, that I thought I was non-binary, and to some extent, maybe that's more true than most people will give you credit for, but more female side, for me personally. But I found out I was female because I watched this Linkin Park video, and I'm not gonna play it because of copyright, but it's Crawling in My Skin. I remember it now. Sorry, I didn't mean to play that if it came through the speaker. I have headphones on, so that shouldn't have happened. But Crawling in My Skin, I don't know if you've seen the music video, but I related to the girl in the music video. So I was like, that made me aware that, because I related to how feminine she was, but also how much of her feminine ways was not a bad thing to be, and that
Mhm.
and how I feel like something crawling in your skin, like the real you, you know. So I related to it a lot, and I already called myself Jenny back in the day, but I just didn't realize it towards other chats. I
Mhm.
used to call myself Chelsea too, for some reason. But I like
Well-
Chelsea, but yeah.
It's
I
fairly
see.
common for trans people to have this kind of confusion about gender, cycling between names and pronouns, trying to find an identity that matches best for them. And I'm glad that you found your current truth at the moment. And I can relate to finding it through music, through media. I think sometimes that can be a big awakening point.
I think as well, there's a theme really. I share Lapis's support. I'm very glad that you're more, you found where you're comfortable now, right? And I suppose when you said earlier about how you were upset that your YouTube channel didn't grow the way you wanted it to, I remember on your channel you'd had videos, and as we mentioned earlier, like when we were in that group with the other people in the circle we were in together, whilst perhaps your channel wasn't as big as some of them, it was still, people were still watching. It wasn't as though it was nothing as such.
Right.
But do you think perhaps because I wanted to you said that to return to like Topher and stuff, that they manipulated you, and I was curious as to what like things they said that were manipulative, like what the messages or calls that they said that persuaded you to do things for them?
That you'd be nothing without us.
Oh,
That's
so
the thought that's coming to my head, that you'd be nothing without us. That's what he'd say. That's what he would say, not thought he would say. That you'd be nothing without us. You'd be nothing. Your whole YouTube career would be nothing if you didn't know who I was. I brought you up, I can bring you down.
So he would threaten you.
Yes.
and I
Okay.
suppose as well, because this it sounds like an abusive statement. Because it is an abusive statement.
It is.
And at the same time as because in 2018, when our initial that interaction happened with us, I think from memory that crowd, there was a disconnect, right? Like you were sort of taken away from, removed from the group. Removed from the group, blocked by a lot of people, and so your circle would have switched primarily to this other group.
Right.
Because obviously your actions, you've acknowledged yourself, weren't okay, but there was also a lot of there was an overlap, I think, between some of the stuff that you were sharing on the internet and you being in these circles. Because I remember at the time discussing some of the details of this, not the full extent we are now, but certainly I saw quite a lot of the you would video quite a lot of your personal living space and stuff, and your those sorts of things. And actually, between when you messaged me and now, I was a little curious, and I thought, okay, well, what do I remember from this happening? There's a lot of stuff about you on the internet, Jenny. Just in even when I was looking at your account on Twitter, because there's quite a few accounts of you that you have on Twitter and stuff, and so when I typed in your various search terms and stuff, it would just come up with random videos of things you've posted online. And so I wanted to know how much of that was was that all stuff that you sent to Topher, KeeperCast, or was some of that stuff you were just posting yourself, or what's the
Posting
when
myself.
you're filming around? Okay, and so when you're posting these videos yourself, when you were, sorry, what was the thinking behind that? Was that for an audience, or was that for your own channel, or what was the thinking?
It was for my own channel, it was for my audience, and it was for myself to learn, explore, and to basically try to express myself, because I honestly felt like at the time that nobody was really expressing themselves on YouTube anymore. Now, maybe that's not true, but I felt at the time when I was making my YouTube channel for the first time, nobody was expressing themselves. They were too scared to say what they think. Not that everything they said was right, but I think personally is that you should be able to grow with the YouTuber. So of course, after a while, I would forget accounts. I would delete content because it didn't exactly align with me. Sometimes I would have to because some people didn't agree with it, or not agree with it, in terms of other people, but I feel like my family wouldn't be comfortable if this was exactly out there, and I would try to respect that as much as I can sometimes.
It's funny that you say that, though, because one of the videos that you posted was a house tour, and you quite explicitly video members of your family in that video, and you've filmed quite a lot of the a house tour, right? There's quite a lot of footage of your living space and members of your family on the internet, which I think because of course you were a different person then, and you've changed since then, but at the same time I think there is a need to for as much as we want to speak about the bad things that have been done to you and said about you and stuff, I think it's also important to explore some of the things that you have done of your own account, right? Because ultimately, if you point a camera at another person, especially someone who, again, I really don't mean to speak about your family in a negative way, but the person in one of the videos you film is a much older person, and I don't think they've chosen to be filmed. I think you've just come downstairs and you're filming. I don't know if it's your mother or if it's a family member, but it's someone who is they're sat in a chair and they're just you've pointed a camera at them. And they're quite old and perhaps not. You're just sort of saying things at them, right? And so, what's the sort of explanation or thinking behind what goes into things like that?
Honestly, it's just the worst part of my aspect of my personality that I've decided to stop is just filming her because like I did it because Topher wanted me to like film my grandmother because she thought, oh, that's Southern charm. I don't know about that, but like I think personally, he thought it would be funny just to pick on the elderly, and I didn't realize that. I was just trying to make a funny video, but I shouldn't have made that video. Now I don't know about the other videos I made. I only remember the ones I did with Topher recently, but the other ones I don't know.
So recently,
yeah.
You only remember
Not
them recently,
recent. 9 months ago. But yeah.
Okay. So what was the final straw for you? What got you to cut contact with Topher, if you have?
Well, he doesn't want to talk to me, but before that is because I was finally done like trying to hide who I am and try to hide the fact that he wants me to put up or shut up. I don't know. But he wants me to shut up. He wants me to shut up.
He doesn't want to speak to you, or you didn't want to speak to him. So when was the last time that you contacted him?
Months ago, we were on voice briefly because we shared a Discord server, but he doesn't go on it. He doesn't care to go on it. But he basically was like trying to address everything with me, and he like says he doesn't regret the Instagram page. He doesn't regret that, but he does regret KeeperCast. I don't care about that. But like I think he just is too much of a busy person doing other things with his life. He doesn't seem to want to care about the friendship we built together, the career that we built together.
Do you still consider it a friendship?
No, I don't consider that, friend of relationship. Anyway.
So it seems like the things with Keeper wanted them to, but because he no longer kept in contact with you because he was concerned about his image and didn't want his family and his career to be tarnished with his bigoted behavior on KeeperCast or the Instagram pages.
Right.
Okay, so in that period of isolation, you said that you were able to build, I think at one point you said that you do have a success now. Would you like to talk a bit about that?
Well, my Instagram page, my official one, where I just, draw or talk about lyrics now, I just basically have and I was inspired by Paul's Ego. I basically just do what I want on there, not do whatever, but I just basically try to express myself on there. You can find my art on there, but that doesn't matter. I basically have a bunch of fans that I didn't even realize I had until oh, you want me to wait for her?
No, it's fine. You keep talking because I'm sure.
But basically, I feel like I'm a success online, and that I was mentioning the lightning before the thunder. That's a slight jab at Topher because have you ever heard the song "Lightning"? I mean "Thunder" by anyway.
I've heard it.
It's basically how I'm the lightning before he came around. I'm the one who was the trendsetter of his thing. I'm the one who's going to make it after him, and I'm going to be there before him.
Okay. So how many followers would you say you have on your new Instagram page, new and rebranded, where you say you found a bit more of an audience?
Well, it's not rebranded. It's still Jocelyn, but Yeah, I would say it's 166 last time I checked, but it could be more now since I've been posting. I've been getting 200 people to show up my page recently, according to Instagram, because I've been posting a lot lately of just video clips and like me expressing myself and just I just need to be more active on there to like not gain a following or anything, but just like follow my fans and be there for them. Be an
And
influencer, but only for be a good influencer and not like try to poison the well.
Okay.
do you think that there's things you can do then to ensure you stay, doing these sorts of like music and art and stuff, and not go back to the habits you had prior to realizing things about your former friends?
I think I just need to disconnect. Like I'm already disconnected from Topher. I just need to disconnect from the whole game. Like I keep
Are you
going back and
still
forth.
are
Well,
you
I was
still
going back and
connected?
forth with them. I was going back and forth with Sam and Walter because like personally I was like, oh, like maybe this isn't as bad as I think it is. I keep having this epiphany lately that they're no good and that they also post videos, but I have no proof that they post videos. I just heard that from my mom that they do, which wouldn't surprise me if she knew a lot more information than it. Yeah, go ahead.
Your
Speaking of
mum's,
your mom, you
yeah,
had mentioned something about a investigation.
Yeah, apparently Topher is being investigated and mom knows about it. Due to my own discussion with you, Lapis, and I think that there was an investigation being done on Topher due to the things I said to him about revenge porn, about picking on the mentally disabled, hate crimes, how it's revenge porn, how he's a serial, and I don't know if this is true because I haven't
so
actually verified it, but yeah.
so this little bit's a little bit interesting because I was under the impression that you were like the point of contact they all had, but somehow your mum knows them and knows them more than you, and has told you that there's a federal investigation into people that that are doing this.
Yeah,
Right?
and they're planning on taking him and his cronies down.
Okay.
Okay, so that elevates it a little bit to like quite a serious thing. So like I suppose cronies as well is quite a, that makes it sound like to me it's like really organized and like a more than just someone's Instagram page, like
right.
And then I suppose like how is your mum? Was she in contact with him? Like is she?
She's
How
been
does
in
she know these
contact with
things?
Sam and before, like against him, for him, basically saying if you're for Topher, then I don't like you. Like, why would you be in support of somebody who would do this to your friend? Friend
And what has
meet
he
me.
said in defense of himself and his associations with Topher?
That he doesn't talk to him as much, but still, like, I don't know.
So
don't know.
he still wants to put his neck out there for someone he doesn't even talk to, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and they want to call my brother like an evil person. They want to say he's trying to take down my relationship between them, which he may be, but fuck it.
So
yeah.
what has your brother done in regards to the situation that they would have a feeling like that?
I think he's tried to like separate me from Topher because he's a bad influence by any means necessary.
So have you
Okay.
left the Discord servers and the sort of the things that the mechanisms to which you are in contact with him still or able to speak to him, are they like out of your life now?
I wish I was originally out of their life for like 2 or 3 days and I actually felt good about myself, but now my anxiety is like back at full swing and I just need to like delete my Discord.
Okay.
Like, I just need to delete it. I need to like block. I need to like, because obviously the Discord having the Discord account is just gonna like make me unblock and like go back to them. If I have the connection to be able to do it, I feel like it's gonna bring back some bad habits of not what I did in the past, just like becoming their friends again. Not necessarily being their friends because they're not true friends, but like I don't like them.
Okay. In that case, would you feel comfortable maybe deleting your Discord on the stream?
Yes.
I mean, it seems like you know what you need to do.
Since I have it pulled up, I don't know if I can share it on the
You don't need
Discord
to share
app
it. Just delete it.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna share it either way, but I don't want to share private stuff from other members that I follow. Not follow, but other friends, you know. Where do you happen to know they've changed this so freaking much? Okay, there it is. There it is. Your own servers. Damn. I have to delete those. That's fine, I don't care. I only have one server, so that's my private server that no one's in, where I post my stuff.
It doesn't get more private than a server of one.
Yeah.
I think actually just before you do delete stuff, is it worth like getting receipts and stuff for things that have been said? And
I can do that.
because
I can.
of course, Lapis and I believe that there's been very unpleasant things that have happened to you. But if what you say about
some things about it.
Sorry?
I even said I wouldn't talk to you due to me feeling regrets of it, but fuck it. I'm gonna stay talking with you if you want. I just felt bad about it because I felt like at the time when I wasn't gonna do with this. Oh my god, I have to plug my oh my god, I hate this Chromebook, dude. So freaking unnecessary to have it. Okay. I'm back. I have to plug it in, but I'll share the Discord on here. Okay, let me plug it in, and I'll do that real quick. Let me plug in my charger for this Chromebook. I like this laptop. It's just freaking slow sometimes.
Yeah, it can be nice. So, but yeah, I think given the seriousness of the things you've said, it might be worth. Oh, what are you?
Is this coming in through?
Yeah, do you want me to share this, Jenny?
Don't share it from the stream. This should be for later. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I did do that, but I should have informed you that maybe some of their stuff might not be exactly safe for work for your stream. But yeah, we can explore it later if you want. I'm sure they won't kick me out of it.
But what I'm saying is because of the nature of what you've said and the fact that your mother has said there's stuff happening, which I'm still a little. What's your mum's role in this, in terms of how she's connected to it? Because it's important. It's important for you to disconnect, but it's also important to if your mum's still talking to these people,
she's talking to she's not talking to them directly. She's she's actually made songs about it, I believe, under a pseudonym named Jav or Jax. I believe when I try to look myself up in this whole Topher situation, to where she was making an album about it, but I'm not sure if that's true. But,
your mother has made songs about the situation between you and Topher.
But yeah, okay, but how?
Maybe that's not true. But
it's your mother. But Jenny, it's your mother, Jenny. How would you not know if it's true or not?
Because I don't recognize her face in it.
No, but okay.
But isn't she your own mother? Did she have a face obscuring effect, or what's going on to make her undecipherable to you?
Well, for one, it looks like a completely different person, but it seems to be talking about all the issues.
No, but okay, but it's. I mean, again, not to pry. Do you have regular contact with her? Are you speaking to her regularly?
I live with her.
Okay, so then that's what I'm sort of getting at. How could you not know whether your mother's recorded a song about people that you're also do you see how it's a little bit confusing?
Yes, I do see that. My apologies.
No, it's all right. You have to apologize, but like to
Right.
clarify for us, because you said your mum's the person who's told you a lot of the stuff that's happening, but you don't know if she's you don't you think she's
I
made
don't
a
know
song.
if this persona I found is actually about Topher or anything, but it seems to be like a lot of her life stories about stuff and like about
Is this
Topher,
public?
some of it. Yes,
Is
it's
this-
called Jax. It's called Jax.
Is this on-
GAX.
Could you
What is it
share
called?
this? Like Jax?
Yeah.
Could you like
Yeah, I can.
screen
It's
share?
copyrighted, but it might. I don't think it's actually copyrighted, but I don't know. But like, I can screen share. You'll probably only hear the audio due to how shitty the sound.
Yeah, but it's just you have to play
StreamYard
the song for us. Just I don't know, like the screen, like your desktop with that on, you know, like YouTube or whatever platform it's been put on. Because it just seems a little bit. You know,
I
how
think you
I
told me
screen
that.
shared. You know, like how I screen shared the videos that I showed earlier.
Yeah. I only have one monitor, so sorry if you're hearing yourself. I just don't recognize this person, but
What?
yeah, this might be a tangent.
Three point. Okay. I don't think that person has 3.2 million subscribers. Jocelyn.
Yeah, it's not.
Jenny.
It's
So, but you thought this person who had 3.2 million subscribers was your mother singing about the situation with Topher?
yeah, or it could be just someone. I don't know.
But
I'm
they're not.
sorry. That was so fucking disrespectful to my mom just to think that someone with 3.6 million subscribers would, whatever.
But
Okay, so
I'm
my
just
next question
stressed.
to you would be, how did your mother find out about an FBI investigation? Is she been contacted by them?
She contacted the FBI after my revenge porn was out there.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so she got in touch with them. And was this back in 2017, or did this happen recently?
She got in touch with them, I think, when the revenge porn, so probably back then, and it's been going on for a while.
Okay, so that is a very long-standing investigation.
Well, they're doing it, so they're basically they're making sure that he doesn't know when it's going to happen. They're not even saying it to me or my mom when they're gonna go through his door and barge in for all the charges he's done over the years. But that's according to her.
But I don't understand why they would tell her that plan. And if
I
that
don't
was
know.
the case, it wouldn't make sense to talk about it here, because now he can hear it and, obviously delete every bit of evidence.
Yeah. So maybe she's lying.
But this is what we're sort of saying, Jenny. Like we're confused as to this part of the story, because like obviously we know there lots of bad things happened, right?
Mhm.
But the bit with your mother, the random video you just pulled up, the stuff that you're not sure what your mother said and all that side of it. Like I'm not quite sure how she knew to even speak to them anyway. Like so, like obviously, like Sam, for instance, you say you've met in person, they're from your area. I don't want to assume too much, because obviously it's your personal stuff, but like presumably you're in the same state or whatever, so like that bit makes sense. But the connection from your mum to all these people and Topher, like where has that, like how's that actually come about, like that mechanism? Hello? Hello?
Well, it could be my sort.
So like my internet froze then for a
Sure.
second. Lapis and Jenny, you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. I don't know if you can hear me.
My computer.
Jenny,
Okay, I think I can
Jen-
hear you now. Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you, Lapis, but we've lost Jenny. What
Yeah.
was the last thing you heard then? Because I was speaking and nothing was happening then for a moment.
No, yeah, I think there was some sort of.
Oh, no, it's just me. It's a good sign. Hopefully they'll both join back in a second. Geek says in the chat, I heard Lapis, so that suggests that we're all right. We'll wait for those two to come back, but we'll have to see because it's here's Lapis.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's right.
That one was on me. I accidentally exited out of the stream. It's a little bit difficult to manage on mobile. By the way, we have some conversation in the comments about from some random geek expressing some of their sympathies, their understanding of Jenny's perspective, their belief, and how. But we also have some skepticism here about how this could be a.
Yes, the video that's being referred to here that says "Clout Chasing Horror Cow," I actually came across earlier today, and it's like very actually surprisingly well viewed because I was under the impression that not to say that the part of the internet we were on was not of any significance because every viewer counts, but this video had 100,000 views, and it was just a video of various things Jenny had put onto the internet. Is Jenny back now? Is that?
Yo, sorry.
Hey, Jenny.
I think it was my bad. My Chromebook was completely frozen up, and I had to restart it to do an update. My bad.
That's all right. That's okay.
It should be more smooth now.
Oh, and Lapis is.
All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Seems like we're all back now. So.
Brilliant. Okay. What were we saying just before our disconnection issue happened?
We were talking about the FBI investigation and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The role of your mum, Jenny, in this like dynamic, because I can completely understand, like the means to which Topher coerces you into doing some stuff, right? Because of all the stuff you've said. What confuses me a little bit is how your mum is in a position to get, basically have more knowledge than you over not only what's going on with your friends, you're obviously your friends, big air quotes, but then also an investigation from an actual authority into people who you're directly connected to.
Apparently I'm the victim. I think she's lying, honestly.
So you think your mother didn't actually contact the FBI about what happened to you?
I think she wants me to stay away from Topher, and she's making it up as a lie.
Okay. Well, you don't want to be.
I don't know. She's a pathological liar, dude. I can't. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay.
So she has lied. Well, you don't know what's true or not, but do you know if she's contacted Sam? Like, do you know that that's happened? That
she's contacted Sam for sure. They talk regularly about trying to get me to hang out.
They talk. They talk regularly, but she doesn't like it. Do you talk regularly to Sam? Do you and Sam talk?
Yes, he's I would consider him despite not very much a friend with Topher. He's not very much a friend with Topher. In fact, they barely talk. I just think personally he's one of the coolest people I've ever met. But hey, that's just me.
So Sam is your friend then? Is what you're saying?
I would say that, yeah, best friend.
Okay, Sam is your best friend, but he was also one of the people that Topher kind of used in this way.
I believe that Topher also used him.
Okay.
What was his role in Keeper Cast? What was his status?
He was just like another keeper on there.
What is a keeper, by the way? Sorry, I'm a little bit confused by this term.
It's
Jocelyn,
basically
go ahead.
it's basically like another word for locale, but it's supposed to mean like it's the
Oh,
same
like a
thing,
keeper,
but-
like you're a keeper, as in like someone you keep around to.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And Jenny had explained it a little bit earlier. That was the source of the name Keeper Cast.
I
It's
see,
it's a
right,
cast of all of Toffer's keepers, as he would call
Okay.
them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Right, that's my fault. Mind blank. Okay, so then Sam's on the show with you, and what has Sam got much of an internet presence? Like, because I don't.
He does. He does have
Okay.
an internet presence.
And is Sam still?
He's a musician.
He's a musician.
Okay, could you maybe link us to some of his stuff? Would you like to do that first of all? Would you like for us to get in touch with him so we can kind of verify a lot of the things you said today?
I don't know if he's willing to talk, but sure, I'll be able to send his Instagram.
Okay.
All right, let me get it. My computer's being slow because it just turned on. And I have
It's
only
okay.
4
I mean, you can
gigabytes
message
of
us this stuff like separately to this particular stream, but
RAM. I can.
what I more mean as well is that
I will.
because obviously your internet. Someone in the chat mentioned the presence on the internet you have is quite extensive, like far beyond that of, like, for instance, right now we're on a stream with a few viewers, and we'll get like 10 or 20 views. We're not like, obviously some people are watching, but it's not like some big thing.
Mhm.
Versus some videos you're in which have over 100,000 views, which is massive. Like compared to like back when we used to do our like little streams and stuff, and that
Mhm.
Poor Bastards chat, that got hundreds of views and stuff, but never thousands, and certainly not tens and hundreds of thousands, right? So,
And so this was the fame that you were able to, or that Toffer was able to achieve through you on Instagram.
Yeah. Topher was able to use me as a leverage to get fame through me. Like, not through fame, like, in terms of, like, him, but, like, to like, have a platform, I guess, to say whatever I wanted, but, like, he did scripting for it because he's a scripter for
Okay.
a TV show
a scripter,
called Aliens.
like,
Yeah, TV show called Aliens is why he
And this is the job he doesn't want to lose because of his previous behavior
be
and
public.
yeah.
okay. So Topher has hello, you still there, Lapis?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. Okay, so Topher, he's got stakes in this, right? He doesn't want to. He's worried. He's got a
Because of his
career, house, family,
Pass.
and so
Not
he doesn't want to speak to you because
like me talking.
Well, the thing is, I can believe that Toffer/Christopher is concerned with his reputation because, and I don't know if you remember, but he reached out to us actually. Remember,
Yes, no,
he
I do
wanted
remember
us.
that. Yeah.
He tried to get us to suppress the videos that we had made addressing the racism that he exhibited. He was
I
talking
think,
about.
actually,
Go ahead. He had
no,
said
you keep
something.
speaking. I was trying to find what I had.
Sure. He said something along the lines of, I've joined Black Lives Matter. I'm a very different person now, and I don't want this in the past to ruin what I have now. I think he may have mentioned something about a family, and I don't know. It's all struck me as really curious because if you were seriously contrite about your racism, you wouldn't be worried about your past being available. In fact, you'd be like, listen, you own up to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I can't find where. So I had a Twitter DM off him ages ago, but I can't seem to find. Here we are. Right.
You can share the screen if you like.
I'm trying to work out how I can do it without showing all my other DMs at the same time.
Fair enough.
Let's see. if I screenshot it.
Hmm.
Jenny must be rebooting her computer, by the way, because it's
Yeah, she'd said that she'd had some trouble with the Chromebook. So I can, based on what a lot of what Jenny is saying, connects to my experiences. You know, of the what I've seen of this guy and his character. But I do still have some questions about the FBI business.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff which, like, bits that seem just really curious, really don't quite make sense with the it almost feels like Jenny isn't sure herself almost, and it's curious. It's curious.
Well, sometimes when you go through traumatic events, memory unfortunately gets scattered.
That's very
And
true.
I think something akin to that might be happening. I'm admittedly also unsure about the account that was supposedly Jenny's mother, the one with 3.2 million views.
Yeah, I don't. No, that bit's quite curious, isn't it? That's quite peculiar. Let's see. I mean, I found the account, by the way.
All right.
That I'm pretty sure is actually, I don't know if it is. You know, I can't tell who this is. No, I don't think I can say for certain whether this is Topher or not.
I could
Never mind.
probably dig it up, at least my own screenshots, dig it up and post it in the comments, because I have maybe posted on a site like Imgur, because his account would probably match up to the one that is contacting you, because I know he explicitly introduced himself to me as Topher.
Yeah. I'm just messaging Jenny to see what's going on.
Okay.
But no, it's. I think it's tricky too because obviously here we are. Right, Jenny's back. So hopefully.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I tried joining on my phone, but it wouldn't work. I thought it was a Chromebook issue.
No,
I was
that's
heavily lagging. StreamYard is kind of weird.
Yeah, you're back. No, don't worry about it. StreamYard is a little bit of... I've had my own issues with it over the call, as you've seen so far. I keep coming in and out. StreamYard on mobile isn't the...
You've definitely optimized it for best.
It didn't even like work.
Bizarre.
Like on mobile, I couldn't even join.
Yeah.
I guess I'm supposed to download that app.
Well, I'm sure you can. Yeah, you got a new laptop, right? So there's always going to be a few bedding in issues. What I think we were talking about was it your mother and Sam and the network that you have, right? That is a little bit overlapping and a bit confusing because you've got Topher and you're trying to remove yourself from Topher's sort of orbit, right? It's taking you a while, but you're trying to get out of an unhealthy connection. Sam is your friend. Sam's still in this sort of circle. He's is he spotlighted? Like he's presumably also facing similar situation with Topher, or is that a different relationship?
No, I think it was just him being on the show. Like not even like a keeper, but just like he was a keeper at the time for it, but like.
And that was Sam laughing. What was Sam part when you were being asked to do things? What was Sam doing at this point?
He was just in the background.
Okay. And when you were when your mum and Sam are talking, is that an online thing? Is that an offline thing? Like, what's the?
Online, I believe. Maybe offline sometimes. No, I think it's online. One time she met me and him offline. You know, when he first visited me.
Okay. So this, do you think, is able to move forward with Sam in a way that's healthy beyond Topher? Like, do you think that you can see a timeline where you and he like break off from people who aren't really very healthy. What's Sam's view on it all, by the way? What's his because obviously your mother wants this done. What is Sam's position? Like what does Sam think of what's gone on?
From what I understand from a video I've seen, he kind of feels trapped, but I don't know if that's his feeling, honestly. I can't tell him I can't tell how someone else feels. He's gonna have to say it for himself, you know? I don't think he feels that way. I just think, like, Topher obviously is too busy to hang out with me and him. He's too busy to actually be a friend. He's too busy to put the work in. He's too busy to actually care. He never cared.
Put in the
Okay.
work is an interesting phrase. Like, what?
And I agree. I also think that the focus on him being too busy to spend time with you two, I mean, based on everything that he's done to you, made you do, why would you want to spend time with him?
I don't, but I guess it's to get back to where I was having fun again. But obviously it was fake fun. It was fake fun with KeeperCast.
Okay. So do you think then the issue is almost that you need something like outside to do beyond obviously you've got your art and your pictures and stuff, that's great, and your music, but you also need something away from online spaces, like in real life, that might perhaps give you the sense of fun that would take you away from spending as much time online and being tempted to go back to trying to message Topher and stuff, right?
Right. My mom plans on getting me into contact with some of my IRL friends from high school. So yeah.
I mean that's great.
It's really important to have those
Yeah.
social bonds with people outside of the internet, right?
Right.
But is there anything that you can instigate as well? Because of obviously it's great that your mum's trying to help out with this, but is there anything that you can do outside the house that like is beyond, like, gives you a bit of independence? That's like you're able to do it of your own gusto, right? Because it needs to come from yourself too if you want to change.
I would say that basically I need to start because there's nothing much to do in this small town.
So do you think kind of small town boredom was something that also fueled your desire to have this sort of exciting, glamorous life online where you got a lot of attention from people?
Yes. I would say so. I miss the old life. Not the old life where I lived in the city.
The old
miss
life
it.
that you had with the Instagram page.
No, like when I actually growing up lived in a city and had friends, had connections. Now it's all boring here.
So you like having a social life, basically, like social time.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
would.
go ahead.
I like having a extraordinary life.
And I think, many people can relate to that feeling isolated, moving away from places where they had a lot of social connection and not really knowing how to fill the void. And maybe in a way, Topher saw that you were vulnerable in that way and used it to his advantage.
I would say so. I know so.
And so I think, because I've seen a few of the things that you've tweeted and stuff, and you said to me that you politically have felt you feel a bit different to where you were before as well. Do you think that might help, like, remove some of the older sort of edgy conservative stuff and perhaps be a bit more open to being around people who aren't necessarily the previous stuff you used to think, like, it might make it a bit easier
Yeah.
to to
Yeah.
socialize with people and remove some of the inhibitions that might have previously stopped you from engaging with people in a certain way.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, I would.
That's good. Okay, well, I think we've explored quite a bit of the sort of the past and what's happened and stuff. If I'm honest, there's still your boss. Obviously, it feels a bit really like more clear. I don't know how you feel, Lapis, but whilst I'm very glad that you're not in direct contact and stuff, and of course I want the best for you in the sense that I don't want you to be exploited and used in a nasty way like you were. I also feel it's very important that this is the start of something, right? Like that this moment that we're having now is, okay, I'm going to carry out the things that need to happen for me to properly move on, right? So regardless of a potential like investigation, regardless of what your mum says, like you've got to be able to say, right, let's change from here. Let's not go back to shock jock content and all of that and stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
I totally agree.
Because we've had an inflection point like this before when you remember when I had you on my channel, we had this moment where it's like, okay, you can see that these people are really mistreating you. Let's move away from them, and then you can be back with a group of people that will be more genuinely your friends. At that moment, 7 years ago, unfortunately, KeeperCast's hold on you was too strong. But now you have a chance to take your life into your own hands. You like the Instagram page that you have right now, the audience you have right now, not necessarily the one where you have hundreds of thousands of views, but they're only there to see you being humiliated. The people who are following you now are here to see you.
Right.
And with the opportunities that your mom's giving, meeting friends from high school again, getting back in contact with people, building a life offline, but also online in a healthy way, I think you'll stand a better chance of being happy if you do that than if maybe after this video you feel the temptation to reach out to Toffer again. He says, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. He manipulates you back into his circle, and then the cycle starts all over again.
Right.
So it's done.
I'm like really hungry right now, but no, it's anxiety, dude. I'm really anxious.
Why do you think you're anxious?
I think it's because like it's scary to like try to change this much because you're so used to like wanting to, change, from the kid you were and what was taken away from you as a child, because here's the thing. I feel like personally that if I never met Topher, I would be a much more happier person and less anxiety ridden.
I agree. I think what Topher did, it made you feel very self-conscious about yourself. It made you feel like you depended on him for fame. And he kept stringing you along with all these glamorous promises of things that you wanted to be, or threatening you to take away what little you already had. And now that you've existed without him for a year, it's not necessarily because you were able to cut contact with him, but because he iced you out because he wants to preserve his successful career and his image.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Indeed.
Sorry, that was a fucked up joke. Nah, I don't know.
But no,
Anyway.
like that says, like it is hard, it's tricky, but to be able to move on you need to identify what's gone on in the past, right? You've got to be able to flesh out the issue, and then you can identify what needs to change. And so I think, there is anxiety, but there's also going to be change. And perhaps with a little bit of effort, you'll be able to get that change for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I just hope that I'm able to pull through.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny,
Yeah.
thank you for being here today. Thank you for being brave enough to talk about some of these issues. I can't imagine it was easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And remember, for as tricky as things may get, as long as you keep powering through, you'll be all right. Yeah.
all right. Enjoyed talking to you guys.
Absolutely. It was nice to speak to you again, Jenny. I think as well, if you do send once we come off there, if you do send some of that stuff to us, then that will hopefully give you can send it, be done, and then move on from it, right?
Right.
Awesome. Right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. It's been an interesting stream. It's been nice it's been interesting revisiting something from the past. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.